Where's my nose? Hello and welcome back to 12 Days of Caketastrophe. I don't know what that is. 12 Days of Caketastrophe. That. So I'm basically using this little series to celebrate the 12 days of Christmas for this festivity. I'm talking about some experiences, one per day, about how I screwed up with baking at some point, or when I was making desserts a long time ago. So it's a collective experience of like failures. If you're into that, so you definitely should tune in and make sure you watch every single video. Today I'm basically going to be telling you about the story of the blueberry cheesecake. Blueberry cheesecake. So we had a staff, Ashton, who used to work with us in the place I work at right now, and he said he liked blueberry cheesecake. So when he was finishing off his industry placement with us as a baker and was moving on to other areas, he was like, we were like, let's meet up at work and go out and grab some food and eat something nice. Just have a little gathering, and I was like, maybe I'll make him something. And I found out he likes blueberry cheesecake in particular. So I thought I'll make some sort of version of blueberry cheesecake. But I wanted to make it something fancy. Knowing me, you know, I like to experiment, so I played around with it. And one of the things I didn't play around much most of the time was jelly layers in cakes. I tend to find it very difficult. I don't know what I usually do wrong, but a lot of times it does not set properly as a layer. So I'm still looking into that. If you have any tips, actually, leave it down below and let me know how to like prevent like jelly layers in like mousse cakes, etc., or gelatin-based mousse cakes from sort of sliding out and causing, you know, cakes to lose layers. So I kind of nicknamed this incident as the avalanche cheesecake, mostly because everything came toppling out of control. So when we took it, the easiest way to transport it for me was basically keeping it in a mousse-based cake pan. So the mousse cake was set in there. It was basically, I think it was a jelly layer, and it was a blueberry kind of cold set mousse cheesecake, with some sort of base, I think. But basically, when we got around to eating the cakes, we were like, all right, let's do it. And my other friend, Nikki, who was there, she was sitting opposite to me, and I think Ashley was sitting diagonally opposite to me, and we were like, alright, let's lift it up. So I put something small under, lift out the mousse cake, and as I lifted it out, I was like, oh, it looks pretty good. And then we were like, yeah, it looks great. And then just turned around to grab some stuff, and then I guess I was grabbing cutleries and stuff, and I didn't realize it, and they were kind of starting to panic and like, ugh, and I was just like, what's going on? Turned around, and the top layer was basically sliding down, and they were just like, what do we do? Where do we put it? Where do we put it? And then Nikki, in the panic, basically just went and held the cake with her hands, and the whole cake just slid onto her hands, and then she was like, okay, now where does this go? And we were just like, I don't know, slide it back into the pan, yeah, put it into the pan. And then she just like, kind of like, tilted the hand, trying to like shuffle, jiggle, and eventually the top layer of the cake went back into the pan. We kept it there, and it looked pretty bad, and it was pretty sad, and it made me a little bit depressed because I made it look relatively pretty in my opinion at the time, but the cake did not like stay together as the way it should be, especially when it's for a gift for a friend, you know, you wanted to make something nice for them. It kind of, well, you know, we gave him the gift of an entertaining like time, I guess. It was definitely worth laughing. We couldn't stop laughing for a long time, whilst also kind of semi-recovering from like the traumatizing experience of like handling cake. No pun intended. Yeah, and so we just ended up scooping from the pan to eat it, and it tasted amazing, but I never actually went back to find out what was wrong with that recipe. It's definitely not on the channel, so you don't have to look for it, because that was an issue with that cake. Like, I wouldn't be able to write a recipe about a cake that would literally slide apart as soon as you start taking it out of the pan. To be honest, I can't even remember whether the layer was in between and coming out, and that's why it was sliding, or if the mousse cake was encasing it. So I'm assuming with most like entremet cakes, usually the jelly layer is actually contained by the mousse juice, that's why they won't slide around when you slice it. Which is another thing I'm kind of confused about, because, you know, if it's sliced, then wouldn't that layer still slide off? Yeah, anyway, that's a whole different thing to talk about. But yeah, so I hope you like that story. Let me know if you've had similar experiences with jelly layers being a pain in the ass for like making these cakes. And if you've had any sort of horrors and nightmares about it. Otherwise, that's it for today, and there's another one coming before we wrap up this whole 12 Days of Caketastrophe. If you've been following the 12 days, thank you so much for looking at it, and thank you for sharing your experiences, etc. Again, if you liked it, please like and subscribe. It really, really, really helps me, so I can keep bringing out amazing stuff that you enjoy. And don't forget to hit the bell-shaped notification button so that you don't miss anything that I make.